Hey all, my name's Michael, welcome to the channel, and we're going to be getting into some 4chan stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Now, let's begin. Be me, 26, just finished physical therapy after tearing my ACL like a complete moron during a pickup soccer game. Finally scored a solid job at a tech startup, actual healthcare coverage, and a real desk instead of shared workspace hell. Been with my girlfriend Natalie for almost 3 years, thought we had our shit figured out. She drops this nuclear bomb on me during a random Wednesday while we're assembling IKEA furniture. I'm doing a spiritual journey through South America, gonna backpack through Peru, Bolivia, maybe hit up Machu Picchu. Me trying to hold this bookshelf together while processing this information. That sounds incredible, babe. You should absolutely do it. Adventure of a lifetime. Partly genuine excitement for her, partly relief because my new job means I can't disappear for 4 months. Her college roommate moved to Lima a few years back, so figured she'd have some safety net. Spend the following weeks researching hostels and bus routes with her. Buy her this industrial strength backpack that looks like it could survive a zombie apocalypse. Discreetly tuck an AirTag into the hidden pocket because I'm supportive but not naive. 4 nights before her departure, we're demolishing Pad CEO on my living room floor. She gets this expression like she's about to confess to vehicular manslaughter. I've been thinking, what if we tried an open relationship while I'm traveling? My fork stops moving entirely. Her, like, it would be more honest if we just acknowledged the reality of long distance. Me, what reality exactly? Her, I'll be in hostels with backpackers from everywhere, there's gonna be drinking, festivals. Me, okay, and her, what if I meet someone really interesting and we connect? I don't want to lie to you about it. She's basically requesting a subscription to guilt-free hookups. Me. So instead of trusting yourself to stay faithful, you want permission to not be faithful. Her. It's not about faithfulness, it's about growth. And honestly, maybe you should explore too. Me, Natalie, if your commitment to us dissolves the moment you smell Pisco and hear a guitar, what are we even doing? Her, God, why are you making this about insecurity? It's about being realistic. Realistic, she says, like monogamy is some outdated social construct. Me, if sleeping with strangers is more important than our relationship, just say that. Cue the theatrical breakdown and frantic backpedaling. Her, I'm just being hypothetical. Why can't you handle an adult conversation about this? But I can see through the crocodile tears now. We argue until sunrise, loud enough that my neighbor starts passive-aggressively playing music through the wall. Her defense keeps shifting. I'm being possessive. She was just thinking out loud. I clearly don't understand modern relationships. Maybe we're not compatible after all. She weaponizes, maybe we should break up like 5 different times. On the 5th threat, I just go, you know what, you're right. The absolute panic in her eyes when her manipulation backfires. Crash on the couch, which feels like sleeping on a pile of concrete blocks. Wake up at dawn with perfect clarity about the situation. Tell her directly, we're finished, Natalie. Get your stuff and move out before you fly out. Waterworks intensify, calls me heartless, FaceTimes her sister to complain about my toxic masculinity. I call my buddy Marcus to help me install new locks after she's gone. Text my dad because actually saying this out loud would make it too real. She leaves for the airport 3 days later. I'm conveniently at work. First 2 weeks after she's gone, I'm basically non-functional, surviving on energy drinks and whatever's in my freezer. Decide to start The Sopranos because I need something with enough episodes to occupy my brain. She immediately starts documenting her travels on social media. Hostel crew photos featuring the standard characters, rich kid gap year student with professional camera gear, British guy with dreadlocks that smell like patchouli, Australian surfer type who definitely owns multiple didgeridoos. I masochistically refresh her stories every couple of hours, mute her profile, unmute it, mute it again in some pathetic digital self-harm cycle, watch her getting friendly with this Spanish guy who looks like he writes poetry about sunsets. Then she's hanging all over some German dude who probably hasn't owned a shirt since graduation. My job performance craters as I spend more time cyberstalking than actually working. My coworker Jessica starts picking up on my complete mental breakdown. She'd asked me out for coffee maybe 8 months ago, but I was committed to Natalie, politely declined. She handled the rejection gracefully, said something like, she's lucky to have you, and we maintained a solid friendship. Now she's mysteriously appearing with extra coffee, asking about lunch plans. Eventually spill the entire saga over turkey sandwiches in the company kitchen. She listens without judgment, doesn't even gloat when I explain the open relationship proposal. She does refer to Natalie as that selfish psycho, which honestly validates my feelings. Starts forwarding me hilarious TikToks throughout the day to boost my mood. Invites me to her book club. I deflect because I'm nowhere near ready for group social situations. She doesn't pressure me, just mentions standing invitation whenever you feel like it. Meanwhile, Natalie's content gets progressively more unhinged. Bungee jumping in Ecuador, ayahuasca ceremonies, group photos where everyone looks like they haven't showered in weeks. There's this one video of her grinding on some guy with neck tattoos at what appears to be a full moon rave. That's my breaking point. Finally block her across all platforms. Start actually concentrating on work again, Jessica and I establish a regular lunch routine. She's genuinely witty and engaging, actually responds to what I'm saying instead of just waiting to talk about herself. Tells me about her weekend rock climbing adventures, her psychotic cat who attacks houseplants. I catch myself anticipating our conversations throughout the day. One Friday evening, she casually suggests grabbing beers after work. My instinct is to decline, but then I realize I genuinely want to hang out with her. We end up at this sketchy sports bar, talking until last call. She opens up about her previous relationship, some finance bro who ghosted her after 18 months. We trade horror stories about exes. She makes me genuinely laugh for the first time in ages. Walk her to her Uber. There's this charged moment where we're just standing there. She goes, "I know you're processing a lot right now and there's no pressure here." Me, "I don't want to drag you into my emotional wreckage." Her, "Sometimes wreckage turns into something better." We start spending time together outside the office, nothing officially labeled. Hiking trails, trying new restaurants, binge watching true crime documentaries. She never pushes for physical intimacy, lets me dictate the pace completely. After roughly 2 months, we're essentially a couple without the paperwork. She stays over one Saturday night and it feels organic, not forced or complicated. We make it Instagram official sometime in early fall. Radio silence from Natalie this entire time, which is absolutely perfect. Then mid-December, I receive a text message from her. "Hey stranger, I'm back stateside. Hope you're thriving. Mind if we catch up over coffee?" I screenshot it immediately and send it to Jessica, who literally snorts with laughter. Me, "Think I should respond?" Jessica, "Only if you feel like it, but don't do it for closure, do it because you want to." I contemplate for about 24 hours, then reply, "I'm doing great actually. In a relationship with Jessica from the office now. Hope South America was transformative." She attempts to call me within minutes. I send it straight to voicemail. Follow-up text arrives. "Jessica, wait, what? We really need to discuss this situation." I show Jessica the message and we both crack up. Me, "Interesting how urgently she wants to talk now that I'm unavailable." Jessica, "Predictable. She probably assumed you'd be home pining away for her." Natalie bombards me with increasingly frantic messages over the next 10 days. Classics like, "I realized I made a huge mistake," and "We had something special," and "I discovered so much about who I really am." Each desperate text confirms I dodged a massive bullet. Delete everything without engaging. Christmas Eve, Jessica and I are at her family's place upstate. Her mom breaks out photo albums documenting Jessica's childhood obsession with marine biology. Apparently, she wanted to be a shark researcher and had memorized every species. Her younger brother roasts her mercilessly about her emo phase and terrible bangs. I'm genuinely content for the first time since this whole Natalie disaster began. Not just moving on content, but actually fulfilled. We're texting each other from separate bedrooms that night like high schoolers. She sends, "Thanks for being patient while I waited for you to be ready." Me, "Thanks for seeing something worth waiting for." Her, "Your emotional baggage came with really entertaining stories though." I am silently laughing so hard I almost wake her parents. Reflecting on how fundamentally different this relationship feels. Natalie was always planning her next adventure, next experience, next validation. Jessica includes me in her future plans, asks what I want from life. Natalie treated me like a home base she could return to when convenient. Jessica acts like we're building something together. New Year's Eve party with Jessica's friend group. Everyone's sharing their resolutions for the upcoming year. Jessica wants to get scuba certified, maybe plan a diving trip to the Caribbean. I say I want to be more selective about the energy I allow into my space. Catch her eye when I say it, she grins and interlaces our fingers. Midnight kiss feels genuine instead of performative like with Natalie. February brings a LinkedIn message from Natalie of all platforms. Notice you're still crushing it at the same company, we should grab lunch and reconnect. I screenshot it for Jessica with the caption, "The unmitigated audacity of this woman." She responds with skull emojis and blocked. I don't dignify it with a response, just add LinkedIn to my blocked list. Valentine's Day arrives, my first with Jessica. I'm anxious because Natalie always demanded elaborate romantic productions, expensive restaurant reservations, workplace flower deliveries, social media worthy gestures. Jessica says she'd rather just cook together and watch movies. We attempt homemade pizza at her apartment, she gets sauce in her hair, laughing at our culinary disasters while eating slightly burned pepperoni pizza. She looks at our mess of a kitchen and says, "This is exactly what I wanted. Survey the flour explosion and cheese casualties. Realize she's completely right." April hits and I get a random Instagram follow request from some guy named Santiago. Investigate his profile, recognize him as the Spanish poet from Natalie's travel photos. His bio says, "Traveling the world with my beautiful girlfriend," with recent pics of him and Natalie in what looks like Mexico. Show Jessica, who makes an exaggerated gagging motion. Me. Think they're genuinely happy. Jessica. I think they're perfect for each other in the worst possible way. Me. That's pretty harsh. Jessica, so is requesting an open relationship 3 days before international travel. She makes an excellent point. Realize I don't feel betrayed or bitter anymore, just incredibly grateful. Grateful Natalie revealed her true nature before I invested more years. Grateful she left me available when Jessica was ready to take a chance. Grateful that sometimes the most loving thing someone can do is remove themselves from your life. 8 months later, Jessica officially moves into my place. We transform my spare room into a home office / art studio for her photography hobby. She makes me a custom photo album of our adventures with handwritten captions. It's imperfect and personal and means more than any expensive jewelry Natalie ever bought herself with my credit card. Sometimes I wonder what trajectory my life would have taken if Natalie never brought up the open relationship. Would we have stayed together through inertia and convenience? Would I have eventually proposed to someone who viewed commitment as optional? Terrifying to consider that alternative timeline. Instead, I wake up beside someone who actively chooses to be here every single day. Someone who didn't need to backpack through South America to figure out what she wanted from life. Last I heard through mutual friends, Natalie and Santiago are taking a break to focus on individual growth, which apparently means she's dating a surf instructor in Costa Rica while he's doing meditation retreats in Guatemala. They'll probably reconcile and break up cyclically for the next decade. What Jessica and I have doesn't require constant drama or validation from others. It just exists, steady and reliable and real, more than I ever thought I deserved, everything I never knew I was looking for.